Mecca, the lesser Hajj, to talk to God,
To thank God for your self-arrival, and on behalf of the leadership of our party, we welcome you to this emergency NEC meeting. This meeting is to address one very important issue, and that's why it is emergency. So look at the budget, approve the budget, and then the other one will be information. But before I will give you the welcome address, let me thank the governors that have found time to come, because I also know that to this place, it was just informed that the late Premier Sadwana Osokoto daughter will be buried this morning. So we have to travel back for that important burial. And I hope that the Governor of Abuja will stand in for him when he will address, when we call him to address the emergency NEC. Today's meeting, we deem it absolutely necessary to call this meeting to enable the party meet up with some statutory matters as it relates to the November 6, 2021 governorship election in Anambra State. And as a matter of fact, also the NEC to view as an information of what is currently going on in our country. We had arranged that the talks, which is supposed to discuss very critical issues concerning the situation we find ourselves, it was scheduled for yesterday, Wednesday night, but because of the unforeseen most of the political stakeholders have to travel. The governors, more especially, they pleaded with us to put it off till Friday, when they will be all present to discuss this important issue on security in our country. The frightening development in our country that requires critical stakeholders like us to go beyond just mere rhetorics and reactions of the National Working Committee, NWC, on national issues, to deliberate and act on the situation. The situation we find ourselves in security. We've been reacting. We have been several press conferences and several press statements by the National Public Secretary on behalf of Working Committee. But you know that that is not working in our country currently. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, even if we step out to demonstrate, this government is deaf and dumb. They are not going to respond to it, just like they don't respond to the issue of security crisis in our country. Our country today is grounded by insecurity, and there has been no matching response from government despite the demands of the 1999 operating constitution in section 14, subsection 2B, that the welfare, well-being, security of all citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. This, they have failed woefully, Mr. President and the APC government. They have abandoned that responsibility completely, and they have lost control. Terrorists in the north before were confined in the northeast region, but today 50 villages have been reportedly taken by them in the north central states of Niger, where they are now. We hear it's about 2 hours or less Abuja. Herdsmen are also menacing the west of our country. Gunmen causing havoc in the east, and the militant in the south, all killing, looting, raping, maiming, burning down homes on a daily basis. The situation is worst, never experienced in our country before. Nigerians all over are now living in fear, and everywhere is a war front. You cannot identify where the problems and where the enemies are located, but everywhere on all parts of this country is in dear, terrible trouble. Your Excellencies, the deplorable security situation in our country is already saturating the local and international media space that I need not bore you again. You are already aware of this situation. The situation is unabated. The situation has no hope, no solution aside what we are faced in today. Just a few days ago, you recall that some university students from the University of Kaduna were kidnapped and murdered. I felt so bad, alongside with other security officers, attacks all over Lagos, in Imo, Kaduna, and Kano, all around the country. You can't name one. Is becoming crave the indulgence that we will stand up for a minute's silence for all those that have been innocently murdered and killed, especially our children in the universities that have been kidnapped and killed ourselves in our country. That every day as you wake up in the morning, the first breaking news is that children have been killed, children have been kidnapped from schools, children, adults, women, young women have been taken hostage. The story is the same everywhere, and we are in pain and in sorrow, and no solution aside, and we don't know where we are going from here. It is tough, it is a difficult moment in our history. No war, but yet more people are being killed every day and every time as we speak. And as you are here, people are being killed and kidnapped. You recall that a few days ago, even the Minister of Defense had to accept and agree with all Nigerians that there is bloodletting in our country. How long shall this continue? How long shall we continue to weep for our children and our elders that are being killed every day? The situation is the same in all the states. The situation is the same in all the zones. It is too much to bear. We don't know what else to do, but just to bring to the notice of the NEC that we are worried. Abuja is no longer even safe. Yesterday we got alert that airports and strategic locations, targets of these enemies of progress to bomb. It is no longer politics, and we don't want any response from the villa or from the presidency. As usual, rhetorics. It is no longer politics. It has nothing to do with politics, because all Nigerians are being killed. Neither can you identify them as APC or PDP. It is no longer politics. And we want to call on Mr. President that this has nothing to do with politics. It is a serious matter, more serious than ever before, that he needs to declare, number one, he needs to declare a national state of emergency on security. It is important. It is important. He is the commander-in-chief. All the streets of Nigeria, you can see blood. All the streets of Nigeria. He needs to declare a state of emergency on security. National state of emergency on security. Number one. Number two, they need for him to call a national conference to discuss the issue of our country and in particular the issue of security. If not, I don't know what will be the result if we can get to 223. There may not be election. If people are being killed this manner, there may not be election. So he needs to carry on. He should not listen to any advice. He should listen clearly to the voice of the people. The voice of the people is the voice of God. And declare a national state of emergency on security and convocate almost immediately a national conference to discuss the issue of Nigerian project and in particular the issue of security. Your Excellencies, this is an emergency meeting where we don't need to delay since we have only one item, but we have to talk about the current situation in our country. We are in pain. Families are in pain. Nigerians are in pain. Therefore, we will go straight to the issue at hand. Please bear with us. In a few minutes, this meeting will be over. And those who are members of National Caucus, remember that there will be a meeting on Friday just to discuss the issue of the security in our nation, so that we can come out with a clear statement on behalf of the leadership and on behalf of the entire PDP in our country. This country belongs to all of us. So we must take part, we must prefer solution. It is no longer politics. Let's put politics aside and move the nation forward. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you. PDP. Power. Your Excellency, the National Chairman of our dear party, and members of the National Working Committee, my colleagues, the government, I am happy to be here in spite of all challenges to answer the call of the party. We are always very loyal as governors to the party, and we want to assure you, Mr. Chairman, most of my colleagues are not here because of what you have said. I have not spoken to our dear chairman, Right Honorable Governor Aminu Waziri Tambua, but I want to inform members of NEC that we are working assiduously towards making sure that we keep our unity, we keep the party afloat in such a manner that we free it from rancor and all the vicissitudes of ineptitude of the APC, so that at least we will give Nigerians the alternative that they require for 2023. We met in Makodi, and we discussed extensively the issues of security and the need for unity and for us to ensure that we are on the same page with the National Working Committee and indeed all members of NEC, so that our tradition of unity and good governance that we are known for will not be diluted by any diversion. We have noticed some recalcitrant calls here and there. Some of them are just beginning to rear their head very soon, recently on our National Working Committee. The governors are not with those people, they are on their own. As far as we are concerned, we are loyal to the leadership of the party. We are together as governors, and we have listened to some of our elders who have spoken to us privately and individually, so that we'll be able to keep the party together, free of rancor and division, in such a manner that we will come out strong in 2023. We thank you most sincerely for calling and abiding by the Constitution to call for this emergency NEC meeting, and we are all ears, and I'm sure by the time I get back, I will have the opportunity to brief our leaders of the Governors Forum and indeed all our colleagues. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
We say very clearly that the National Assembly, we actually don't feel so happy coming here to talk, because we know that the problems that are outside trying to overwhelm this country. And so on Tuesday, both chambers of the National Assembly had to look at the matter. In the House of Rep, they went for 4 hours in an executive session, and the consensus of opinion was exactly what the chairman has said today, which is that a declaration of a state of emergency and insecurity must be done. In the Senate on the same day, we also devoted the whole day to the discussion. And for those of you who could see it on the television, something remarkable happened that day. I decided not to speak because I knew that if I spoke, the spin masters in the villa will say it is the opposition. And so we let the APC people speak. And you could see that some of them even shed tears and fall short, just a little short of calling for the impeachment of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because everybody is now tired, very tired. And so, whatever we can do in the National Assembly, I want to reassure you that we will do it. At the moment, we are dealing with the issue of the electoral amendment, because we know that that is also part of the things that we will use to be able to remove this blight on this nation. And so I want to thank you for all being here and reassure you that we are up to the task of doing the needful. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. It is with utmost humility and deep sense of responsibility that I address the leaders, elders, critical stakeholders of our great party on the occasion of this emergency National Executive Committee NEC meeting. I sincerely want to thank the leadership of our party, the National Working Committee, the National Executive Committee, the PDP Governors Forum, and indeed the Board of Trustees, former Deputy Senate President, and Senate Minority Leader for their collective efforts to ensure that a resolution of the leadership issues that confronted our caucus in the House of Representatives. Since the resolution of all the issues, I and my colleagues in the House have continued to enjoy the confidence and support of the leaders of our party across boards. I am glad to report to NEC that our caucus has been working tenaciously as one strong, united, and focused front in furtherance of the collective effort on the platform of our great party to rescue our dear nation from misrule. Our great party, the People Democratic Party, was founded on the solid principles of national unity and inclusiveness, as well as democratic tenets of rule of law, social justice, equal opportunity, transparency, mutual respect, sustainable economic development, welfare, security, and happiness for all of Nigerians. It is incontrovertible that our great party worked hard to achieve a stable and more united country with unprecedented economic growth, massive infrastructural development, and citizen empowerment in our 16 years in power at the center. Sadly, these lofty gains have been wrecked within a space of 6 years by the overtly inept, corrupt, divisive, insensitive APC administration. We have never had it this bad. And in the history of our nation, and Nigerians are crying out in pain. Today, due to the misrule of APC, terrorism, massive killings, kidnapping, banditry, youth restiveness, economic hardship, unemployment, hunger and starvation, and utter hopelessness have encircled our nation. Nigerians across board are now intensely looking up to our party to rescue our dear nation, and we must not fail them. I must commend the leaders of our party for the unity and oneness of purpose that have been achieved in our fold for the task ahead. It is undisputable that if we continue in this state, our party will certainly take back the reign of power at the center and in most states of the Federation and save our nation from this despondent situation. Our caucus had, against this backdrop, intensified our legislative activities in exposing the ills, incompetence, corruption, undesirability of the APC administration, while highlighting the solutions lies only in returning the People Democratic Party to power at the center come 2023. I am pleased to report to NEC that given our unrelenting efforts, many of our colleagues in APC, even at the executive session that we had last, have walked up to us and have seen reasons to join forces with us, and they have expressed their readiness to cross over to our party for the patriotic task ahead. May I use this medium to commend and congratulate the governors elected under the platform of our party for their landmark achievement and developmental projects in all sectors of life. Our governors have indeed made us proud, and we hold them in very high esteem for signposting the commitment of the PDP to the Nigerian people. So I want to plead that we unite our party and ensure that we encourage the NWC to do more in their effort in unearthing all the corruption that is pervading this country under APC administration. Leaders of our party, ladies and gentlemen, Nigerians are waiting for you. They are queued behind us for direction. The onus now lies on all of us to remain united, focused, and not allow any distractions at this critical time to deter us. I thank you for listening. God bless.
National Executive Committee of our great party.